In this video, I'll demonstrate an effective stretch for your hip flexors. Start by kneeling. You'll kneel on one side and bring your foot up in front on the other side so that that heel is directly underneath your knee and your knee is directly in front of your hip. Then notice that there's a natural curve or a small curve here in your lower back. You want to reverse that by tightening your stomach muscles. It's almost like if you had a tail, it would be tucking your tail between your legs. So here's the natural curve, and then I tighten my stomach muscles and that curve flattens. This alone for some people starts to stretch the front of the thigh or the hip, the front of the hip region. You'll want to try the same thing on the other side. And if you notice some stretch, but you would like to deepen that stretch, begin by raising your arms up overhead and then rotate your shoulders toward the leg that's up and possibly even bend slightly toward that side. You could do one or all three of those movements to deepen the stretch, all while keeping your stomach muscles engaged and the lower back flattened, tail kind of tucked underneath between your legs. Now you may have seen someone do a similar stretch, but they've lunged forward pretty significantly. And the reason I caution against that position is because it's very difficult to maintain the stomach musculature engaging enough to flatten the back in this position. If your back doesn't stay flat, if it arches even more dramatically, what happens is one of the primary hip flexor muscles, one that's known as the psoas, it attaches from the bones in the lower back. It goes through the abdomen and then attaches on the uppermost part of your thigh bone. And that muscle gets less stretch. There are other muscles that are considered hip flexors that may be stretched in that position, but by remaining taller, maybe lunging forward slightly, but remaining taller and keeping that lower back flattened, then you will be sure to include the psoas muscle among that stretch. And lastly, if you have knee pain, you'll want to be cautious about this position. You'll certainly want to add some padding, maybe a pillow underneath the knee that you're kneeling on, and even a towel roll that you place slightly behind the knee so the kneecap has less pressure on it while you're kneeling. And that may decrease the pressure on your knee and eliminate the pain. When you find a position that's comfortable and that you can tell that you are getting a deep stretch in the front of the hip and or thigh region, you can hold that position for 30 to 60 seconds and perform it on each side a couple of times. It can be done in the morning and in the evening each day.